Chelsea 2, Everton nil. Now, let me tell you this, people, right? I almost forgot what it's like to win a match. And don't get me wrong, I am happy. Obviously, there's still some concerns that we're going to talk about. Things we could have done better or things that I want us to do better going forward. But let's be honest, we actually played well today. I think in the past three games that we played before this match, against Atalanta, Bournemouth, and Leeds, we actually played like we wanted to win. Like we actually played like we were looking to score goals. And we actually played like we have an actual plan. Some games like the Leeds game, the Bournemouth game, we were playing, even the Atalanta game, we were playing, but we didn't know exactly what we were doing. Today, we looked like a well-drilled team that came to play with a plan. Because the other games, I didn't know what the hell we were doing. Are we supposed to press high? Are we going on counter-attacks? Are we using our wings? Are we attacking through the middle? Who is supposed to be the creative player? Our number 9 is he? There were so many things that have been wrong in the past 3 games, but today it looked like we were actually up for it. And that's the spirit that I want to see each and every week. I gotta give credit to my boys. Yes, of course, there are things, like I said, we can do better. But today, I don't know, listen, I don't want to take anything away from my boys, but at the same time as well, we have to agree to to the fact that Everton didn't really look at their best. I think if they were actually converting their chances today, this could have been a draw or they could have won the match. Maybe not, but you get the point, right? I didn't like the fact that Everton were able to create as many chances as they did. So we're not going to run away from that. But today, all we're going to do is to celebrate the 3 points, give our boys some credit that they deserve, and we move on to the next game. And hopefully then we can keep building the momentum from this game. Now, I want to talk about our defense for a second because so many pundits out there, so many people, opposition fan base, even our own fan base, they were so critical about our center backs, about our defense. And I always say, when you look at our defense, right? Yes, of course, Reece James has been played in the midfield for quite some games now, also because obviously Caicedo is suspended. But when you look at our fullbacks, you look at Cucurella, Gusto, even James, right? That's not a problem. Then the 2 central backs, those are the ones that we still haven't found people that can actually say, understand, and actually play together up until Fofana came back from injury. And since then, we've actually managed to keep, I think, 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 6 of games that they play together. So many people have shitted on our defense, talking about how we have the worst defensive, structure in the league, talking about how we need experience. Now, as that might be true to some extent, we are not as shit as people make it seem to be. But then again, we know when it comes to Chelsea, everything has to be over-exaggerated, which, at this point, if you're a Chelsea fan, you're kind of immune to it. People are talking about Arsenal have got the best defensive in the league, right? Best defensive record. But then actually, when you look at it, David Raya and Robert Sanchez have the same amount, if not, maybe Robert Sanchez got one more, clean sheet to his name. And then you look at how many goals they've conceded. I think they've only conceded about 2 goals more than us. But apparently, we have the shittiest defensive partnership in the league. As much as I want us to improve on our defense, I still think that our defense, if we have Chalobah and Fofana, by the way, I don't want to see Tosin alongside Chalobah. I don't want to see Tosin alongside Fofana or Badiashile. Tosin can play, but I don't want to see Tosin playing alongside Chalobah. That partnership does not work. You see the partnership with Chalobah and Fofana, that's the one. Now, I understand that we also have to rest the likes of Fofana because of, the injury history and everything. So some games, we will have to see Tosin, we will have to see Badiashile. As much as I want to see Fofana each and every game, Maresca is not going to do that. Common sense will tell you, there are some games we're going to have to rotate. And the amount of games we're playing this season, rotation is going to be the key part of how we are going to finish the season. So that partnership of Fofana and Chalobah, for me, has to be our number 1 priority. If you don't play Fofana for resting reasons or whatever reasons, put Josh Achimpong, tossing. He's supposed to be the most experienced player in the squad, and yet he's the shittiest player. Well, let me not go too hard on him. Pause. He hasn't been performing well this season. I don't know what's happening. It's life. He's a human being. At the end of the day, maybe he's going through something, but he has not been the player that we want him to be. Because I don't believe he is that bad. I just believe it's just a period that he's going through. Now let's talk about Sanchez for a second, because as you already know, I criticize Robert Sanchez the most, right? Well, not anymore, but when he was playing as Robert Sanchez back then, I was criticizing him so much that he does deserve an apology from me. Actually, no, he doesn't deserve no apology, because when I was criticizing him, he was actually shit. However, I have to say he has been one of our most improved players, if not the most valuable player, because when you look at the game against Bournemouth, we could have considered so many goals, but he kept us in the game. You look at even the game against Atalanta, he kept us in the game. Today, he kept us in the game as well. So probably our MVP at the moment. I know, we have the likes of Cole Palmers and Neto. They're doing well. They're doing whatever they're doing. But you have to give credit Robert Sanchez. I have criticized him so loudly, and I am going to also give credit as loud as I can be. Robert Sanchez, I think people need to ask for forgiveness. Now, things might go on to change the next couple of games. I hope not. But as we are talking right now, we have to give him his flowers. He had kept us in so many games this season. Even when you look at the game against Barcelona, actually, from the game we played in Club World Cup against PSG, that performance for me was everything. And since then, he has been one of our best players, if not, again, the most important player right now, because he's been keeping clean sheets. Of course, take the Leeds game away. That one, I don't know whatever happened. Take the Arsenal game away, because we were 10 men, so we were always gonna concede on that game. And I want to talk about some of the negatives today, because there are some players I gotta pick on. You know how I feel about Garnacho. Actually, let me not even talk about that. Let me not bring that up, because then it will seem as if like I have an agenda on Garnacho. But this is what I used to say. Garnacho is the type of player, his conversion rate, his decision making sometimes, or at most, is not great. Today, he could have scored a hat-trick today. Or maybe not say a hat-trick. Let's just say he could have scored at least 2 goals today. Now, on his defensive duties, I gotta give him credit. He knows how to track back. He knows he's very much aware when he has to defend. It's only sometimes when he does go forward, it just doesn't seem to have that output, that end product, that end goal. When we want that assist or a goal, we don't seem to get that from Garnacho. But listen, I don't want to go too hard on him, again, pause, but he didn't really impress me today. And the other player that didn't impress me today is Enzo Fernandez. I don't think he was well off in possession. Out of possession, he was okay. He's always that guy that try to get in people's heads, and he's our shitbag. So on that point of view, he did okay. But then in position, today I think he only made one good pass today, which he crossed the ball into the box for, again, Garnacho. Them two, bad combination on the pitch. Anyway, they're not meant to be good combination, because they totally play different kind of roles and different sides of the pitch. But anyway, the point is, them two, Enzo and Garnacho today, were the worst players on the pitch. I can give a little bit of grace to them only because their defensive roles were quite all right. So, but yeah, those are the 2 players today that I thought they could have done much better. Now, Cole Palmer, our boy, star boy, is back. I was happy for him. He scored a goal. He likes to play against Everton. Last time, I think he scored about 4 goals. Left foot, right foot, penalty, and a free kick. So, yeah. Today, I'm hoping that from this game on, he will kick on to actually become the Cole Palmer that we know. Remember, there's a World Cup now, and I know for sure he would like to go at the end of the season. And he also want to win trophies. So, and his talent. It was only a matter of time for him to get back in form. I'm not saying he's back yet, but I'm hoping that in the next couple of games, if he does play, and hopefully he plays, he can pick up his form because we need him. The season is too long. Now, there are obviously a couple players that I want to talk about quickly. João Pedro, I thought his hold-up play today was very, very good. There were times I was hoping for him to like just release the ball a bit quicker, but his hold-up play was good. His decision-making was good as well. He had one of those nice runs into the box, nice through passes again into the box as well to Cole Palmer, etc. Pedro Neto today, an assist. What a player. Oh, by the way, I have to give credit to my boy Malo Gusto. I mean, this boy here, there was obviously a time where he wasn't looking like the Malo Gusto that we know. But this boy can do it all. He can play in the midfielder. He can overlap as a defender, as a right back. I'm pretty sure he can play as a centre back too. He can even play as a defensive midfielder. Oh, he does play as a defensive midfielder. What am I talking about? But anyway, today he was overlapping. Today, creating more space for Cole Palmer and piling up the box. Going forward as well on that right side with Cole Palmer. He did that against PSG, and I thought today he was doing quite similar. That's why you realize that we were using more of the right side than the left side, even though there were some good balls to the left side. But I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, which other player? Cucurella as always. Which other player did I even mention? Oh, Reece James. I don't need to say anything. I mean, it's Reece James. I don't care whether he has a good game or bad game. He's Reece James. I mean, probably it's not fair to other players that I criticize a lot, but when it comes to Reece James, yeah, even when he puts his foot wrong, which he barely does, you still can give him grace. I mean, it's the end of the day, he's a Superman, or he's our Superman, but at the same time as well, he's still a human being. So you kind of have to give him that kind of grace. But listen, people, 3 points, we go on. You remember at the back end of, not back end, but at the middle of last season, we were about to go in first position. Then we went to play Everton, and then we drew that game. And then from there onwards, it became our downfall. So I'm hoping that that the fact that we won this game against Everton, maybe this year or this season, that could give us a bit of good luck. So maybe from here onwards, we can keep going forward. So yeah, man. Listen, I'm just happy we got 3 points. Yeah, obviously, like I said, there are things we could have done better, like not giving them so many chances in the box. Yeah, we were just to some degree lucky because they were not converting their chances, but we gave them too many. And if we were playing a team that is clinical, like I think we're gonna play Newcastle, Aston Villa, and Man City, you give them those chances, they're gonna score goals, and that'll be our problem. So hopefully going forward, we don't give the opposition too many chances, because some, they actually can convert them. So yeah, people, listen, it is what it is. Make sure you do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.